Hi friends, hope all is well. Here we are for yet another Ariween tutorial. This is definitely a fave. This is going to be top 5 for me. I am absolutely in love with how it turned out. If you guys are interested in seeing how I transformed into the Sphynx cat, then make sure to keep on watching. Alright friends, so let's get on into it. First things first, I applied my latex bald cap ahead of time just to save me some time. I also pre-painted it with my Pax paints to match my prosthetic that I also pre-painted ahead of time. So yeah, it's on right now. This edge looks bad because the prosthetic will cover it, so I didn't feel like stressing and wasting time and product, to be honest. So this is my baby right here. She's pretty fucking awesome. This is the color that it arrives, just so you know. It's a very pale beige color. So yes, this is the color scheme that I came up with because these cats are they have a lot of a pink undertone. So yeah, this is her. I'm obsessed. We're gonna get into it. And for prosthetics, I know I said this last year, but I have a lot of new friends on here and a lot of new viewers. So just so you know, with prosthetics that are half face or full face, anything that requires the nose area, the nose must be applied first, because I'll explain why. Let's say from the side. If I apply the forehead first, I can place it like this, and now I misalign the entire placement. So you can't really remove and reapply a prosthetic like this with the edges remaining nice. So technically you can reuse prosthetics or reposition them, but once that edge is down, that edge is messed up. So really try to be careful and try to do it in your first shot. But you always start with the nose, so you can follow just the little nostrils and you literally line it up. So now when you place this, the nose is in so you can breathe, even though my mouth is out, so I will be able to breathe. I'm fine, but it's just to show with the aligning of the face. So technically my fingers are in my nostrils. Not to be gross, but you know what I mean. And yeah, we will position this so now everything is fine. I hope that makes sense. Let's get on into it. So for adhesive, I'm just using some Prosthetic. Prosthetic is my favorite. I am allergic to liquid latex, so that really irritates my skin, so I don't use that. Spirit gum works, but I just find it to be very annoying. So this I just really like, and it's water-based, so yeah. I always use Q-tips because all of these adhesives, once they kind of get into those bristles, unless you wash it ASAP, like literally go like this and wash it, the brush is done forever. Same for latex and the same thing, so please really do not use your good brushes for this type of stuff. I like to use disposable wedges, and my Q-tips are my go-to. I'm going to apply Prosthetic directly on the tip of my nose and inside the nose area of the prosthetic. I like to do both just so it's really on. And I don't put glue around the entire prosthetic because, again, we cannot have it stick somewhere that it doesn't need to by accident. So we start at the middle and we will continue to spread the glue out from inside to finish off the rest. I love to do special effects. Special effects is and will always be my number one. I'm very sorry to say it, but special effects, just like the thought of just being like a monster is just, who doesn't think that that's just awesome, you know? And then you get to do it to yourself, you know? With these types of adhesives, please do like a patch test before you actually go full in and apply glue on your skin all over the place, especially your face, you know. Check if you have any allergies or anything like that, because I have a million allergies, so I always gotta double check. So there you go, that's it. There's no rule on how you apply it. Just make sure you kind of get all in there. I know it's not the most comfortable feeling, but honestly, once the prosthetic is on, that weird kind of sticky feeling goes away. So you're fine. So with Prosthetic, the way that you know that it's ready to go, it dries down clear. So there's a little bit kind of Not completely dried up yet, but it's still okay. I go in anyway. To be honest, when I do these prosthetics, I even like to push the nose out so it's really stuck on. I don't like to squish my nose into the shape because these prosthetics are made for a generic face. This isn't made for your face, so you have to keep that in mind. So I like to flip it and just literally align the tip of that nose with mine. So again, I'm gonna try really hard to show what I'm doing, but it is a little bit difficult for me, so I'm sorry. Right, so the nose is secure. So again, I know it's gross, but in order to tell that you're aligned, you gotta be able to find your nostrils. So they are right there. So the rest is not adhered, as I said earlier. The nose is. So now I'm gonna just take my adhesive and work my way up. So we're gonna work into the forehead now. Alright, so she's on. Next area that we're gonna work on are the cheeks right here. Alright, so as you can see, the edges are still lifted because we did not apply adhesive. That is our next project. So I am just going to take my Q-tip, get nice all in these edges. You know, not pull them, but you gotta, it's a light tug just to lift everything and really flatten it. You don't want to rush none of the edges. That's why I really press down, and you really have to make sure. So all of these edges here have to be extra secure. So that's really what I'm working on. Same thing. It's very annoying about prosthetics, but it's a lot of the same steps just over and over again. So first layer is Q-tip, and then we'll get into the next thing. By the way, I added the earring myself. I wanted to make her different. Anyways, so I just went ahead and applied powder on the first layer of Prosthetic. Now for the second layer of Prosthetic and the final layer, I'm going to apply it with a sponge and stipple it on the edge instead of swiping like I did last time. I learned this from the Vinyl, and it did make a big difference in edge. So try it out. With prosthetic work, it really is just about being patient because you really need this to look real. You need it to blend into your skin. It cannot look as if it is a prosthetic because then there's no point of that. You know, you're not selling the illusion. A lot of people ask me like, you know, is it hard to do special effects, or like, you know, can anybody do it? Anybody could do it, you know. Anybody could do it. I think what is hard about special effects is the fact that you have to make it look realistic. And I do think that I see a lot of artists overuse products. So like overuse blood and overuse bruising tone. And you know, realistically, if you get a pencil through your nose, you're not gonna have 2 black eyes and a bruised forehead. You know, like, I do think a lot of artists are trying to sell the illusion, but I think overdoing it is what makes it unrealistic. And honestly, you cover the detail in your work by applying so much blood and bruising and stuff like that. But whatever, that's a random conversation, another conversation. But yeah, I think the most difficult part about special effects and prosthetic work is the realism. The point is not to look like I glued on a cat prosthetic to my face. The goal is that I look like I am a cat. Keep that in mind when you do, or if you are interested in becoming a special effects artist, or just dibble-dabbling in it. Because I think that that's what really sets you apart, and reference is honestly the best. Reference is awesome. Even for this look, I had a million reference photos of real Sphynx cats and other looks that artists did and their interpretation, and I like to use a lot of sources of reference. I like inspiration from other artists. I like artwork. I like stuff like that to kind of get an idea of what I'm gonna do and then kind of visualize it. And I always add my own flair or twist. I never copy someone's look exact. That's not my thing. But yeah, you know, that's really what it is about this type of stuff. Okay, so really quickly I'm just gonna set that edge with powder and I'll be right back for our final layer. Okay friends, so our edges are nice and laid, nice and flat. We set them with some powder, so now we're gonna get into Pax Paint. So what Pax Paint is, it is 50% Prosthetic adhesive, which I use to apply the prosthetic, and 50% acrylic paint. So these are obviously a stronger, thicker, kind of different glue that is made for foam latex appliances. So you always have to, again, back to the realism, you have to pay attention to your reference and see kind of what undertones we have going on, things like that. So I noticed that Sphynx cats kind of have a pinkish mauve undertone, so I am going to start with deep mauve Mauve Pax Paint as my undertone color. So this pretty much goes all over the face. Okay, I realize that this looks crazy, but you gotta trust the process. Please, after you use any Pax Paint, wash your brush right after. Just rinse some water through it to take the product out, because this will fuck your brush up forever. So, yeah, I'm just gonna let this dry and we'll go on with the top coat. Okay, so now that my undertone is nice and dry, we are gonna go in with our second layer. So this is Shibu by Thomas Serpent Creation. So these are awesome because, I don't know, they're just awesome. I noticed while doing research that they're not very golden, they're not very peachy, they have a very pink neutral undertone. So that is why I picked this shade. So now I'm just taking another brush like this and we're just gonna cover that. Alright friends, we're coming together. So I just finished up complexion. I literally just threw on some black eyeliner and smudged it out top and bottom. A little bit of mascara, and I also extended the prosthetic because it ended up here. So of here, so my lip was still out, and for the illusion it was really bothering me. So I did the best that I could. Next up, I am going to just do my bottom lip of pink like this. Alright friends, so it's hard to talk, so bear with me, but here's the completed look. I am absolutely obsessed with how it turned out. I knew it was gonna be a fave this year. I knew it, because last year this was already an idea that I had. I popped on my teeth, of course, my contacts, I put my nails, my costume, which is just band-aids, and all of my accessories in terms of jewelry. And yeah, here we are. I am really happy with how everything turned out. I couldn't have envisioned a better kitten. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, found it helpful. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!